Hi, just wanted to talk to you about a topic that's dear to our heart here at Heart Consulting, and that's that of embedding engagement. What is embedding engagement? What's the difference between that and projects is something we want to explore in this very short video. So, one of the things that we noticed when we were working with organisations is people were getting us in to design engagement projects, whether with stakeholders or the community, and they also were getting us in to start to evaluate them, to go, well, we really need to demonstrate whether this project's been effective or not. And the more we developed the tools and the systems of doing that evaluation process, the more we realised that there was a difference between how one project went and between the organisation-wide practice. So I guess the whole sphere, the whole enchilada, as it were. And that's what got us really interested in embedding engagement. The fact that you can get engagement working really well in small pockets, but how do you get that as an organisation-wide system, process, something that can be consistent and live for longer than just any individual that's involved? So that's where we started to ask the question, so but how do you know if engagement is embedded? How do you know if practice is kind of going to be consistent across the organisation? So first we said, well, embedding engagement is really about the process of integrating engagement into the organisation, both at the governance, the operation and the systems level, and to the best degree possible, making sure that embedding is actually seamless rather than creating a separate system. And we wanted to get that measurement of how do you know whether you're embedded or not. And that's where this engagement dial has come in. We developed and trialled this over a number of organisations. We've now had about 1,000 people go through this dial in terms of the assessment instrument that goes along with it. But let me just first explain the dial. So we've got these 4 areas of the dial that you can see there. There's baseline engagement. They're the people that engage because they have to. Yeah, they do the minimum level engagement, whatever the accreditation, statutory or regulatory requirements need. And you know what? That may be completely appropriate for that organisation. So it's not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just about going, what level of engagement is that organisation doing? Then we've got responsive engagement. And this is the people who engage because they have to. It's not really their preferred way of working, but when there's an issue, they get out, try to get on the front foot and do that responsive engaging. So responding to needs and what's there. We then find there's proactive engagement, which are people who actually engage because they want to. They've realised that there's some benefit from the responsive work, and they realise that if they actually start to do that in a more proactive way, they can start to avoid some of the responsive engagement and the reactive stuff, but also reap further rewards. Then we move on to leading engagement. And these are organisations who engage just because that's how they do business. They recognise that engagement of community, of stakeholders, even of staff, is one of the most effective ways, A, for decision making, B, for actually getting the kinds of results, reputation that you want with community, with stakeholders. And so their focus is not just actually getting the job done, but continually to look for ways that they can actually improve that engagement practice. How do we do that assessment? We actually, over a number of years and testing and doing some statistical analysis, began to notice that engagement occurs over 5 dimensions. Or the embedding process. There's vision and quality, there's governance and delivery, leadership and commitment, awareness and capability, evaluation and improvement. And the degree to which organisations have those 5 things covered off helps give us a really solid guide as to the degree to which your engagement practice is embedded. And what we found when we kind of do the assessments with people is we can actually start to get a score as to where the organisation is now, which then leads to that really lovely conversation about, well, where do you want to be and how do you notch and develop that engagement practice a little bit further. So there you go, in a very, very brief nutshell, that's our embedding engagement approach. Hope you enjoy it. Happy to chat to you further. Feel free to drop us an email or visit us on the website.